Hello and welcome to the Agency UK Peer-to-Peer podcast. I'm very lucky today to be joined by Jane Mcqueen. Jane, thank you for making time in your busy diary to join us today.
No problem at all. Happy to be here.
Thank you very much. So for those of us that don't know you, what's your background?
I've been an estate agent now for 20 years, so an awfully long time. Started in the high street, like most estate agents do. Fell into it, actually. Wasn't my aim after I came out of university, but that's where I ended up. And was a branch manager in the high street for about 8 years for a large corporate chain. Then moved to another agent and another, like you do, very incestuous. And then found myself with a very well-known large online agent as a self-employed agent for about 7 or 8 years. So an awfully long time with them. Got the bug for self-employed estate agency. But when that changed quite a bit, I left to join the Agency UK, and I've been with them now for 2.5 years. Long time.
Wow, that is a long time. Yeah. So what first made you want to make the jump from being employed to self-employed then, all that time ago?
Oh, gosh. A lot of the red tape as far as hierarchy within high street estate agents, there becomes a level of middlemen that tell you what to do who haven't done the job for an awfully long time. Becomes all about hitting targets and being answerable to people who haven't half the time got a clue what they're talking about, in my humble opinion. So wanted to get out of that, wanted to earn the money that I deserved. And, you know, I've got a lot of happy thoughts about the old purple business. As far as it set me up, it gave me my confidence back to know what I was worth. It gave me an awful lot as far as knowing that this was the right step for me now.
Fantastic. So thinking back all that time ago, do you remember where your first instruction came from when you went self-employed?
Self-employed with TAUK. I knew a lot of people by that time.
Yeah.
And when you start talking to people about where you're going, well, we're going to be selling soon. So, you know, that's where I got my first one from, which was great. And I've always been really good at dealing with off-market opportunities as far as when you get buyer's inquiries, making sure you've literally done them to death. So have they got a property to sell? Have they got a property to sell? Do they know anybody who's got a property to sell? And keep going down that route. But I think for people who don't necessarily have that when they're joining, there's lots of other avenues that you can look at. A lot of admin goes into it from the start. So a lot of it is sat behind a desk to start with. So you've got to do your research. You can't just, you know, just say, hi, do you want to put your house on today? You have got to have an element of, you know, knowing what you're looking for and how you're going to go about doing it. So I would say to people who are just starting out and not knowing where to go and what to do, we do have with TAUK quite a lot of avenues that you can go down. So first of all, I would sit down on your computer, get on Rightmove, look at properties that have been on the market for an awfully long time. You can actually order them on that, on Rightmove. So you can actually see what's the longest ones. But that's not where it ends. You don't just click all the boxes and go out to them all. You've got to double check in a lot more detail. Are the photos any good? Are they looking a mess? Is the write-up terrible? Is there a floor plan? Could you do better? Could you add value to that listing? And if you can, make a note of it and move on. Also, as a little tip, avoid the empty ones. You're not going to get anywhere with those. They need to look like homeowner properties. Then move on to, if you go on the likes of Zoopla, you can see the ones that have been most reduced.
Yep.
So you can look at those ones. Again, if you go into those in a bit more detail again, you've got the element of, well, was their third reduction 3 months ago? Well, they're going to be ripe. Their agent's going to be on them again at another reduction if they've still not sold. So actually changing agent is the best thing for them. So again, make a note of those ones. Then you've got Sprift, which we have a free account with TAUK. So you can go on those and look at withdrawals. So ones that have come off the market, again, another little tip with those, they may look like they've withdrawn, which is great, but you need to cross-reference with Rightmove to double check they've not gone on with another agent, because I have fallen foul of that myself as well.
I think we all have fallen on that one, don't worry. I'm actually not withdrawn, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, just make sure that, again, there is a bit of admin, but once you know exactly what you've got to do and cross-reference with, it doesn't take that long. And then you've got your ready-made list. You've got different ways then you can go at those. So my probably go-to is the comp slip. I find that less said sometimes is more, because I think it sparks interest with the homeowners. So a nice little comp slip saying, call me about your property, Jane. with your telephone number, handwritten and just straight through the door. People are intrigued. Why do you want to speak to them? Is it that it might be that you're interested in marketing, but it could be that they've heard something about your property or anything like that. So they will pick up the phone, and I have had listings on the back of that. Then you've got your long letters that you can send. Your high-end properties really probably love those ones because you're taking care and attention about their property and you know everything. How do you know everything? What have you done? You know, all that sort of information. So you can do that. Or you can door knock. I have door knocked and it did get me an in. Some people are better at it. I don't know what my fear is, if I'm being really honest. I think a lot of people do have that fear, and I think I probably do have that fear of what happens if they slam the door in my face. But I have done it and it did work. Personally, I should do more of it. That's my honest approach to it. I know I should do it more, but I've parked up several times outside houses wanting to door knock and drove off.
Do you think that overthinking door knocking is a bit of an issue there?
100%.
I think
because I'm not an unconfident person.
Yep.
But there is that fear of rejection that I think everybody has deep-rooted somewhere inside them. If we're all really honest, you could be the most confident person in the world. But if you don't overcome that deep-rooted, issue, that, it will affect every part of your journey when you're self-employed because you've only got you to answer to. So I know I should do more. I have done it, but I know I should do more. But they're your main approaches with all that information that you've got. And you will get response if you do that day in, day out. If on your first week you do that, guaranteed, I would say you will probably get at least one person call you to say, what's this about? Yeah. And I think that's a really good move forwards.
So on the comp slips, for example, for the properties that are on the market currently, how many do you think you need to get out to get a response back or a valuation back? What's the sort of return rate on that, do you think?
Oh,
I appreciate
it changes. Yeah, I've done it where I've dropped 5 and had a call. And I've done it where I've dropped 30 and not got one. So I think... I genuinely think if you get the right information and you target it for the right property, you will get some responses. But I would have thought probably around at least 20, you should get something.
Yep. So when you did historically do the door knocking, what sort of message, obviously you knocked on someone's front door.
Yeah.
And then?
And then it's not about, hiya, can I come and value your house? That isn't the approach. And I literally, the one time, the time that I did do it, I literally phoned another of the TAUK agents and went, right, talk me down from driving away again. And they gave me some really good advice, and which was basically, how are you getting on? How are you finding the market at the moment? Just thought I'd wanted to have a chat and find out how you're finding things. I was like, how can someone be mean to you once you've done that? They can't, can you? You're just being nice. Open the door to, well, no, we're not getting much interest at the moment. Oh, are you not? That's fine. And then going into further conversations with them, just general chit chat, get the number, get their email. Are you okay to go on my mailing list at the moment? And then a couple of phone calls later, that's when you get in sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes they'll want you out there and then. But even if it's a continuous one that you then got, it's data at the end of the day, it's people.
Yeah, absolutely. My trick when I used to go door knocking was to ring the doorbell as fast as possible. So park my car up and literally run to the front door. Yeah. As soon as you press the front doorbell, you're committed.
100%.
You've got 30 seconds to worry about it until you see the little old lady got it to the front door and you think to yourself, it's nothing to worry about.
No, exactly. I would also say, as far as other things are concerned, I'd use social media quite a lot. The day you start your business, join every local group in your area and make sure that you trawl it. You will find on every single page somebody saying, does anyone recommend an estate agent? On literally every page. It'll happen several times throughout that page, on all those pages. So put names on it. Get your friends. Get anybody you've sold a house for before saying, I recommend this person. Again, I've listed one this week from somebody that I did that on. I put my name on and said, I had an old client recommend me. She hadn't seen it because she'd moved out of the area. I'd sold her house in the area, but she'd moved out. So I messaged her and said, would you mind just putting something on to say you recommended me? So she did. And I then sent them a private message, like literally as soon as she did it, I sent them a direct message. But I sent it at, I think, 8:00 at night. And she got me out and another agent to value the property. And it was because we messaged them outside work hours. And she said, I've got a busy job. You were the only 2 agents that actually contacted me outside of work hours. I've decided to go with you 2. And then I won it, obviously. But so trawl Facebook, you will see them and things like that.
Do you think it's important to have an active social media profile yourself behind that? So if someone then clicks on your profile to then go,
100%.
right, listen, what Jane's about is good to have.
100%. But you'd be surprised how much you can upload to your own personal profile within that first couple of days. What TAUK is fabulous with is actually providing you with assets that you don't, some of the corporate ones, but it doesn't have to always be about that. You can have, you trawl the internet yourself for amazing kitchens, amazing lounges, the best views in the area, just some socials about the area yourself, some video face-to-face contact so they can see who you are talking about the market. You can do that within your first few days and get it uploaded so that when people do see that, get some reviews from people you've sold your house for before. Your phone has probably got a lot of contacts in there of people you've done business with before. Get them to write a review on. Repeat the review they did do for you before, but put it on your own now new site and share them. You have actually got a lot to go at.
Yeah, I think sometimes all you need to do is ask in that situation.
100%.
Asking is the hardest bit, but actually them doing it, they want to do it. They want to help people out.
You need to create around you in that first week your set of cheerleaders, the people who are behind you, they really want you to succeed, and will tell the world about you.
So if you were going to relaunch the Agency UK business all over again and go back a couple of years or so, what would you do more of?
I was really pants at social to start with. All I did was on the market, sold, on the market, sold. Steph then did go on quite a bit about getting your face on the market, on your socials, which again is quite nervous about doing it because you think, oh gosh, are people going to think I'm an idiot? But actually you're just selling you. And when you're in someone's living room, half the reason they instruct you is because they like you. Obviously, you're good at what you do, and that comes across by the way you're talking to people, but they like you. So actually putting your personality and putting you over on a video showing the world that this is what you do, is actually a really, really good thing. So I wish I'd done more of that to start with rather than just those sorts of things. I wished I got my head around the mindset at the beginning a little bit sooner, because that's one thing when you first join TAUK or, to become a self-employed agent, that I should be doing 40 listings. I should have been, I need to be getting 20 instructions. You're going from high volume to low volume, and it takes you a while to forgive yourself and to understand what you're doing and to not give yourself as much stick. Also that desperation that then falls in line with fees, that you end up, charging ridiculous fee. I think my first fees, any properties I was charging was £1,200. And it's embarrassing now to think about that, selling 300 grand houses for £1,200. It's ridiculous. And I wish I'd had more confidence in myself with those first couple, even a couple of hundred extra on those first ones. But you have so much desperation that you want to get your first instructions on and you want to get them sold, that you feel like the only way you're going to do that is dropping on your fee. And
so at what time in your starting your business journey did you get to the point where you go, £1,200 isn't enough and I'm going to start charging X percent, £2,000, whatever the number is?
I probably did, I would say 3 months at a low fee. I think, when you are one of the breadwinners in your home and you've got children, your mortgage comes into play, doesn't it? So you have to be real. You have to know that you've got money coming in. And I think once you've got then a pipeline that you go, okay, I've got money there now. I can start looking. I can start getting my worth and understanding a bit more, and actually charging for what we do. Again, the one thing that happened with Purple Bricks was that we had got in our head that you don't need to charge a high fee. But it was because we didn't do as much as we do now. That's the difference. So again, change of mindset, change of everything. And once I got into that, it was very much a case of, well, I'm worth more. I'm worth more. Full of teammates, if you want, or colleagues within the business who would go, Jane, you're worth more. What are you doing? You're worth more. And it's really nice that on a self-employed journey, you're not on your own and you have got people telling you that, which is really good. So yeah, I'd probably say about 3 months in, fees up. And I haven't gone straight from that to where I am today. It has gone up in increments, feeling your way a little bit. But yeah, definitely. I'm way higher. Obviously, I'm on a percentage, not a flat fee. And and it's grown, quite a lot.
And do you think it helps being part of a network on that? So you mentioned speaking to other agents in the agency UK. So they're saying, actually, I'm charging so-and-so then. You think, actually, I'm as good as them. I'm doing as great a service, but I'm doing...
Definitely. But also, there is an element of knowing your market. Because if I was to go out in my market in Chorley and, little market town where some agents are charging 0.5% and they're not bad agents. And there are some not bad agents charging low fees. If I went in at 2%, I just wouldn't get the business. So there is an element of knowing your area and your market. And I think it's support and which is great, but not, I think sometimes if you compare yourself to some areas, you can actually do a bit of damage as well because you're not in their market, you're not in their area, but it doesn't mean you can't do better. So there's a aspirational part of it, but with a bit of realism thrown in. Does that make sense?
Makes absolutely perfect sense. Yeah. I always find the biggest factor between people changing their fee from today to tomorrow is they wake up one day and go, actually, I'm worth more than this. I've had enough being a 1% agent. I'm now 1.25% and they change it from there. Yeah,
and that's what I did. So, and the annoying thing is when you do that change from 1 to 1.25 and then they don't argue, you think, oh, could have got 1.3.
The hindsight effect, yeah.
Could have got 1.45. Should have tried 1.5 and negotiated. But that then breeds the confidence, which means next time you will ask for more. So it's happening incrementally, but it is happening and it has made a huge difference to, whereas I would have had to have got 4 houses sold in a month to achieve an amount, I'd now have to do 2 for that. So work-life balance gets better, how you believe and how you feel with things gets better. But yeah.
I feel like the first couple of instructions people get on the market, they just want to get something on the market.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And prove they can make it work and get a property on the market, sell it, and it starts and they think, oh, I can do this now. Yeah.
It's social proof, isn't it? You can then say, well, this is the one that I sold and this is why. And now look at the photographs, look at this, look at that, look at the other. And if without that, it's really hard to then say, but I'm worth X amount to the customers. We know we're worth it, but it's what the customers feel.
Quite. So if you're going to paint us a picture of your daily tips and daily advice you'd give someone that would help them improve their estate agency business, what would they be?
Yeah. Structure, I think, is really important. Again, being self-employed for quite a while now, I said 2.5 with TAUK, it's really easy, I think, when you come from the high street to think, well, I work from home now. This is okay. I'll wear my pajamas all day and I'll sit on the sofa with my laptop and business is just going to come my way. And it doesn't. So it's keeping that structure. So I get up in the morning and I do the school run every morning and I'm able to do that now, which is brilliant. And sometimes my husband will say, well, I'll take the kids to school. I'm like, no, I like to get up, dressed, out the door. I've had my walk. First thing, I'm sorted. And then obviously having your structure to the day by every other means. So what are you going to do that day? Don't end up being a busy fool, just running around doing lots of things. So structure, I would say, is key to start with, and setting yourself up to work. Doesn't mean you can't be in your scruffs all day, but get up, get sorted and set yourself up. I would then say, for me personally, it's a to-do list or a priorities list, whichever way you want it to, whatever works for you. I have quite a scatty brain. That's one of my many talents. I like to say gifts. So if I don't do a to-do list, literally, I spend the whole day being busy doing nothing. So my first job after I've sat down with my cup of tea after the school run is, what have I got to do today? And then what's the most important, and then work accordingly. And sometimes time blocking can work with that as well. So putting it in your diary instead of just having a piece of paper. If you know if you've got part of your day is to draw right move, get on there and put it in your diary. That's from 3 to 4. That is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make the calls at this time to this time. If that works better for you, do that. But definitely either for me, a to-do or a priorities list really sets you up. If you take yourself back to the high street, you have a morning meeting where, thank God we don't have those anymore. But you do. You talk about the offers that came in the day before, what you had to do with them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So have your own in your own little head. What have I got to do? What rolled over from yesterday? Set yourself up to make that right in that day. I would then say that your socials need to be a daily occurrence to keep your face out there. I said to start with, like we said earlier, quite a bit more to start with. But then I would say if you can move on to doing that regularly and daily, or even start out scheduling. That's what I'm going to start doing, because it falls by the wayside if you don't schedule your post to go live. But I think what that also correlates with, actually, sometimes I find it easy to do a day for everything. Not to say you don't do other things, but let's say Friday is your scheduling for socials. Tuesday is the day you troll Rightmove. Wednesday is the day you do X. Thursday is the day you go out and drop or knock doors. Give yourself a routine. It goes back to that routine, but actually maybe scheduling for days can be quite helpful as well. Gives you a focus on that day as to what you're going to do. And the last thing I would say is, one of the main pulls of self-employed estate agency for a lot of people is that work-life balance. We've all strived for it. It's never really happened in a lot of instances. But I truly believe with this, you can. You've got time for your family. You've got time to do what you want to do as well. And that's really important. That's the reason we work. You will work Saturdays. You will work Sundays. You will if you want. But you'd be kind of silly not to. But make time for you. I think that's crucial. Go for that walk. If you need to go out for some food, and go and get it. If you've got time to do it, do it. Schedule time for you within everything, because otherwise you'll burn out, and you'll again spend so much time thinking need to do, and you'll forget the reason why you're doing it.
Yeah, I think two big messages I got from that is, obviously, number one is that you are the number one priority of your business. So your own health, your own mental health, all these things are the number one priority.
Yeah.
Because, if you stop working tomorrow because you can't get out of bed because you're so worried about life and work, your business is going to stop very quickly.
100%.
So that has to be your number one priority. And the other part you've demonstrated on the first couple of points is with regard to kind of the boss-employee mentality.
Yeah.
So obviously, historically, I'm sure you had a boss and you were the employee.
Yeah.
But now in your business, you're both.
Yeah.
So it sounds like your boss is working well because they're kind of putting those structures in place for your business. So you're right, Monday is this, Tuesday is that, 1 o'clock I'm here.
Yeah.
But obviously the employee side of things is right now I actually need to go and do it.
100%, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I think if you get all those things and rely on the people who are around you as well, because they are there. Pick up the phone to other people. Everybody's friendly. Everyone's there for you. And if you just say, I've been thinking about this. How did you do this? What happened with this? No one will ever go, I've no time for you. Anybody can pick up the phone to me and have a chat to me at any time. And I think it's really important to know there won't be anything, should I say, that people haven't done before.
Yep.
Do you know, or fallen over at, or, oh my God, I remember the first time someone threw me out of the house because I said X, Y, and Z to them and they thought I was cheeky or whatever. There'll be somebody that's happened to. So, at the end of the day, be yourself, 100%. All the way, but speak to people about how they would benefit.
Yeah, brilliant.
You're not the next agent. You're not them. Be your version of them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Be yourself. That is
100%.
You are 1 in 7 billion. So
100%.
I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. And so you mentioned earlier that you wish you kind of started posting on social media a bit earlier on in the equation sort of thing. What do you think people should be posting about when they first launch? So lots of people come up and say, I've just launched. I don't want to post about because I haven't got any houses for sale. I'm going leaflet dropping again. Yeah. What are the sort of things and what's sort of the goal of your social media you think at that stage when you haven't got new houses coming for sale or selling, for example?
Yeah. It can be anything. So I think you've got to be the font of all knowledge in your area. So market updates, what is selling, what is not selling, what's going on in your market? Are there any social things happening in your market? Are there fairs on that weekend? What is happening? Like for me, I do amateur theatre. So it could be nice to say, have you visited this the show that's going on in the area at the moment? If you haven't been to this in the village, go and have a look. It's going to be brilliant.
See me on stage.
See me on stage. No, but at the end of the day, be real, but talk about whether it's a video face-to-face, whether it's sharing things, whether it's giving a market update, whether it's just sharing, oh my goodness, I've seen this house has come on the market in the village of X. Have you seen this kitchen? It's absolutely amazing. It doesn't have to be your property. You don't have to tell them who it's on the market with, but people love, it's property porn, isn't it, at the end of the day? So, the amount of people who scroll Rightmove not actually wanting to sell their home, make that effect on your own socials. Make it local, make it focused. I would probably put a lot more effort into that at the beginning.
I always find that the
time.
Absolutely, yeah. It's always time, isn't it?
It goes to the bottom of the list and it shouldn't be bottom of the list.
Yeah. I always find the number one job of your social media is to get across who you are as an individual.
100%.
You know, you're not going to put your first post up on social media, for example, and the phone's not going to stop ringing about with market appraisals. But if you get across enough of your personal brand over the time, they're like, I know this Jane person. She's always in the area. She's always chatting about the property market. I'll get a valuation with her. They open the front door and as if by magic, there is a Jane who looks just like the internet appearing on their doorstep.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's what's really important. It doesn't matter if you're out in the rain and you've got a brolly up and the wind's blowing you and you're going, I'm on such a street today, and you're looking a bit, you know, you're being you. You're being the person that you're talking about. And the people that they're going to want to invite into your living room. Yeah, absolutely. Because you're their person. And just as much as we don't want every valuation because they're not our person, we want that roles to be reversed as well. And lots of people are hesitant, let's say, to put their face on social media and to do a video and be in a picture and, oh, I look stupid, my hair looks funny that day and it's not in the right direction. I'm scared to put my face on a board just in case someone puts a mustache on. That's my fear. I would say video, I'm good with. Mustache on a board. See, I would say that's great PR. I'd say great. If you can get the mustache and the googly eyes, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, I don't want that, but yeah. So what would you say to someone who is sat thinking, I want to post on social media, but I'm not quite ready to go over that line and kind of just cross that bandwidth and put my face on there? What would you say to that person? Don't take yourself too seriously. You want to be professional, but you're not a studio maker. You know, you don't make films. You're not that. And people don't expect you to be. I think sometimes the more unpolished, as nicer videos as the polished ones, you know, the ones that are very glamorous are great. But I actually like seeing the person. As you say, personality is really important. So give yourself a break first. You know, I'm sure, well, you could be a supermodel, but you might not be. 90% chance you're probably not going to be. You're just you. So I would give it a couple of goes. Send it to a friend or a colleague and say, do I look an idiot or is this all right? If you do, your friends will tell you. If actually you're coming across really well, they will also tell you. Or colleagues, send it to Steph, send it to Mia, send it to Dan. Anybody would actually give you an honest opinion. And then just go for it. Yep. What's the worst that can happen? Absolutely. You take it down. Yeah, absolutely right. You take it down, or you're probably sat there with no instructions anyway. So you think, well, I can't go -1. 100%. 100%. Yeah, I think that lots of people are scared of going on the camera in for the first instance. But I think they think that people care more than they actually do. Yeah. Because for you, you're putting 100% yourself on the internet. Whereas for them, that's like 0.1% of things they look at today is your video. Exactly. And therefore it is nowhere a big deal to them in any way, shape or form. 100% agree with you, yeah. So do you think that self-employed estate agents sort of let themselves off the hook a little bit too much and they don't kind of lean into that boss mentality we talked about earlier? Do you think they've got a too soft a boss, should we say? Yeah, I think when we look at what you can do, there are so many things that you can do. And if you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, I've done all of those things and this still hasn't worked, okay. But I think 9 times out of 10, you would say, I've not. Like I said earlier, I don't knock on as many doors as I should do. And I know that myself. I think you need to take a long, hard look in the mirror and say, do you know what? I just need to get my ass off this table, chair, whatever, and actually get out there and just do the things that we know work. There are so many things that work. You only have to speak to the people who are making a success of it by doing it, and you're there. So do the things and you'll get the results. Yeah, I always find that most estate agents know the answer to their own question. So you say, for example, well, I want to get more properties on the market, for example. Great, well, write down 5 to 10 things you could do to get properties on the market. Right, how many of those are you doing? No. Well, I'm doing one of them. Yeah. Okay, right. Well, you know the answer already. Exactly. So 100%. Why don't you just do it? Yeah, exactly. So someone sat in that sort of rut and thinking to themselves, I want to do it, but I'm not doing it. Yeah. What do you think would kind of change their mentality or kind of push them in that direction, so to speak? Why did you do this in the first place? That would be the question that I'd say to them. What was your reason for doing this? If this was your reason and you want to do X, Y, and Z, the only way you're going to do it is by doing X, Y, and Z. So go back to the root cause of, or root reason for why you're doing this in the first place and find that fire inside you and go out and do it. Yeah, because I think it's a big jump for anybody to go self-employed, no matter 100%. How much money you've got in the bank or soft landing you've got, sort of thing. It's a big jump to make. So there must be a big motivation behind the scenes. There's got to be and go back to that motivation and say, well, why am I doing this? And therefore I need to actually do these things to get me there. Because no one wants to live with regrets. You want to make sure that you're doing everything that's in your power to get you to where you want to be. Amazing. Jane, thank you so much for your time today. It's been absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for dropping your wisdom. No worries. Lovely to see you. Thank you very much.